big story at 6 tonight. The University of Nebraska today published a scathing review of the Baltimore City Police Union contract and the Maryland Law Enforcement Officers Bill of Rights.
Yeah, making some very interesting points. The study concludes that both of those things stand in the way of holding police officers accountable. 11 News I-Team reporter David Collins spoke with the study's author today. He joins us live from FOP headquarters in North Baltimore. David.
Well, Donna, the study finds that provisions of the FOP contract and Maryland law impede officer misconduct investigations, shield officers from discipline, and has created a police culture of impunity.
The police in custody death of Freddie Gray raised serious questions about the practices of Baltimore City Police and how officers deal with the public. The circumstances surrounding Gray's death and the citizen unrest that followed caught the attention of University of Nebraska criminologist Professor Samuel Walker. He reviewed the Baltimore City Police Union contract as well as the Law Enforcement Officers Bill of Rights.
It's just an invitation to misconduct.
Both, he concludes, contain provisions that impede investigating officer misconduct, shields officers from discipline, and has created a police culture of impunity.
Police accountability is a necessary condition of effective crime control.
A coalition of police managers and unions squashed proposed changes to the Maryland law. Professor Walker recommends striking the provision, providing a 10-day delay in questioning an officer accused of misconduct, and a clause requiring a sworn officer to do the interrogation.
It should be immediate. In fact, the evolving standard in policing, let's say a use of force incident out on the street, the supervisor, the sergeant, will make a report by the end of the shift, and that includes getting a statement from the officer who's involved.
Maryland law requires police to keep a list of officers who committed acts that question their credibility or honesty. It's given to the city state's attorney's office, so the officers won't be called to testify. Professor Walker recommends firing those cops and doing away with the do not call list. Other reform recommendations include revising the FOP contract to prevent indefinite delays in discipline hearings. Currently, discipline hearings are held after a criminal process is completed. No special expungement rules. Officers can expunge complaints from their records after 3 years. Revise hearing boards. That is, eliminating peer officers' positions. Hearings should be held after the commissioner imposes discipline, not before. Make officers' discipline records public. And get more civilians involved in the oversight of the police department.
We need to open up police departments. We need to create an atmosphere of transparency.
The FOP and the police department declined to comment on the study. The mayor, who has fought hard for reforms, says that she will review the report and give the recommendations strong consideration. Reporting live from North Baltimore, David Collins, WBAL TV 11 News.